Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level best of 5 here. In the top left spawning as our blue Terran player playing for Team Kaisi Gaming, it's going to be Spirit. And in the top right as our red Protoss this time around, but also capable of playing Zerg, also for Kaisi Gaming, it is indeed Reynor. Alright, we're here on Stargazer and we're immediately starting with a barracks being proxied kind of far away. It's like a midpoint between his own base and his opponent's base here, Spirit. This is interesting, and it's interesting for a couple of reasons. One, because this is extremely uncommon for a barracks to be positioned this far away from both the bases. Fairly often we'll see like a barracks somewhere over here or over here, which is what we call a fake proxy. It's a build order that generally makes sense. Now, this barracks is really far away from the opponent's main base and also really far away from the own main base, which means that flying back will take a long time. And the downside of a flying barracks is that it can be producing anything, especially can be producing marines. So starting with a marine here. So this is a fake proxy reaper that actually is a proxy marine. Reynor's going to scout close by his main base, sees that there's really nothing here close by. I wonder if he's gonna let this salad finish now, or if he's going to cancel it. I wouldn't have minded a cancel there. I really would not have minded a cancel there. And the reason for that cancel is because you would have a little bit of extra money. It would allow you to get a second gas quicker, while also still getting that initial adept. Getting any type of tech is going to be relatively unrealistic at this point. Where's the second pile? The second pile is over here. There's no pylon on the low ground. If this actually is something of like a 1-1-1 timing attack, I think that Reynor's in a lot of trouble. And I don't just mean a lot, I think he's pretty dead. I think he will be pretty dead. Spirit reveals the fact that he has a marine here. Stargate gets constructed. It's going to be double mines, and the barracks start flying home. Oh no, I think I know this build. There is a there is a legendary player on the European ladder. I don't even know who it is. That's a more, not legendary, than more mythical. It's a mythical Terran player on the European ladder. 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" MMR. And what he does is he plays this build every single game. He has this build down to a T, alright? Like he knows how to play this build. And there goes your adept. And basically what he does is he gets 6 mines out, and you drop 4 mines in the main base. Like you fly in over here, you walk 1 towards the ramp, you drop 3 in the main base, and then 2 of mines walk in towards the natural as well. You get an armory with this, and this build honestly is insanely sick. It is a super good build. A very high tier build order. And the reason for this is because it's almost impossible to cover all your bases with phoenixes and with units, making sure that you can hold. We don't actually see any mines walking in, so Spirit is not aware of how to properly do it. Not like our high level 5.7k Terran, our mythical Terran on the European ladder. Yeah, you can't have detection and phoenixes to lift everything. Hell, you can have detection and I think 1 phoenix if you want to, but because of the delayed second gas, the Stargate also was delayed. Yeah, out of the game. It's over, my friend. It's time to leave. You have officially lost. Oh my god, 13 workers with that first shot. Does not manage to burrow this mine, which obviously sucks. There's not going to be any mining in the main base for the next 15 minutes. The medevac is going to get chased away, but this is a bait as well. Look at this medevac flying away, and here yeah, this is over. Reynor not here with the response. GG gets called. 20 probes down, 4 workers. Oh, I think this is the highest amount of workers I've seen being taken out in such a short game. 35 workers lost in 4 minutes and 37 seconds. That has to be some type of record. And one of the main reasons why I really like that strategy is because it kind of shows that Spirit knows that he's the more experienced player in this matchup. And he's saying, hey, I know you're good mechanically, you're quick and all of that, but what do you think about these tricks, my friend? It's like, imagine you have an athletics competition, like a running competition. And you have this new kid on the block that's really fast and, you know, has this great running technique. But then the old veteran pulls an old school move and just kicks his legs from under his body at the start of the race. This is something that the rookie probably has never seen before. And in nowadays athletics, I bet it's going to be an illegal move as well. But it's definitely going to get the guy out of the race. This is kind of what Spirit did in the last game, except in StarCraft 2, you can kick the legs under someone's body and it's all good. You know, there's no problem there. We're fine with that. We enjoy it. We make compilations of it. The greatest cheese of 2022. And we all laugh at the guy getting his leg kicked from a knee. Lol, he didn't expect it. It's great to see. Love the StarCraft community. All right, we have an eBay block here. Another one of these moves, which is not really all in, but it's just it is a theory test basically. And God knows that no one really likes theory tests. I once took one for a driving exam and I failed it miserably. At that point I decided that driving isn't for me, and as I'm Dutch, I'll stick with my trusty bike till the end of times. eBay is being is blocking this, and there's two responses to this. One, you can pull 4 or 5 workers the moment you scout it and try to cancel this. Sadly for Reynor it probably wasn't possible because it already had too much HP. You need to scout down quicker for an eBay block usually, which is something that Reynor never does, and that is very risky. The second response is getting a natural base on a third base location. So kind of doing what Zergs do against Protoss when they get blocked, and just saying, hey, I'm not going to be capable of expanding to my own natural, I'll just expand to my third base. The worst solution to this problem is getting a Zealot. A Zealot is expensive, it is useless, it cuts in your economy, your Nexus is delayed by about an entire minute, your tech isn't even that much faster. This Stargate went down at 2:14. In a regular game it might go down at like 2:16. We see a probe cut happening here as well, so not only is your Nexus delayed, we're also getting probe cuts because you want to get your Nexus down as fast as possible. So yeah, basically the entire situation here is hot garbage, is what I'm trying to say. This Zealot has no purpose in life either, except getting shot at by Marines, which is not a great purpose in life. Like, what are your goals and dreams? Like some bullet holes in my armor. Well, that's great. Because he's going to walk across the map. There's going to be 3 Marines out. Marine 4 and 5 will be on the way. Look at this guy. He's just chasing the SUV. He's never going to catch him. You're slower. Don't try, John. You'll never get him. I'll get him. Wasted like 15 seconds there chasing an SUV. Now Marine 4 and 5 definitely will be out. At least I believe so. Yep, bunker's also done. Zealot, like I mentioned, completely useless. Adept kind of useful by itself, but also not going to be capable of doing anything against 5 Marines. Here we go, move forward with the 5 Marines. Adept gets taken out as Reynor's mechanics. Oi, 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 oi. I was bragging about them earlier, but they're, well, what should we say? They're not quite showing off right now. They're not quite showing how great they are, really. 26 workers against 26 workers. Usually the worker count would be 32 against 27 at this point. Something along them lines. So, yeah, we see Reynor down about 5 workers already. He's going to continue moving in as well. We'll target down the Adept. Oracle comes in and will save the day here. This actually was a fairly good trade. Taking out a lot of these Marines and taking out the Hellion. Spirit already was building a medevac as well, which is painful because medevacs are kind of bad against Oracle openers. Second Oracle is on the way. No, second Oracle is already out, excuse me. Third Oracle is on the way here, and this actually might have some potential. Spirit's still opting to go for a double mine drop, despite there being Stargate units out. This is a very risky move that I'm not so sure about. I mean, if the Oracles don't move across the map, it might be an okay move, or if they move across the map as the mine drop moves in. The situation still is really bad for Reynor, by the way. Despite taking out all of these Marines, it still feels bad. Like, worker count being even 5 minutes into the game. That's a big yikes for me. Turrets will need to be built rapidly here for Spirit, as he's kind of struggling with that. Here comes the mine drop. 1 mine drops in the main. Second mine should unburrow, I think. Maybe both of them actually should continue to unburrow a couple more times. We have another boost coming in. Should have definitely unburrowed that. That's for sure. As the triple Oracle run by is heading in towards, well, where actually is it heading? Could head in towards the main base. Actually could kill a couple of workers here. There's no turret here. 8 workers have gone down somewhere. Must have been in the natural. So at the end of the day, 8 more workers dying on the side of the Protoss, while the Terran continues having a brilliant time, only losing 2 SCVs. Oi, 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 oi. Medevac gets to stay alive as well. Blink is on the way right here. And this doesn't feel good. This does not feel good if you're a Protoss player. If you're a regular Protoss enjoyer and you're watching this game, you're not having a very good time. Definitely not. If gas is being taken here for Spirit, look at these things. These are supervisors. This is your average middle management. Keep going! Alright. 2 people watching 1 person actually do work. Love to see it. Okay, what is this? Reactor finishing up here. We'll get double medevac, couple of mines. Infrastructure here for Reynor is obviously looking pathetic. Oh my god. A mine got back in, 4 worker kills. Somehow Reynor missed this. I mean, this situation is so bad right now for it. It's just over. We have 13 worker kills in a 6-minute game here. And the favor has not been repaid. There's no payback here from the Oracles. 2 workers have been killed total by them. A couple of stasis wards might actually help out. But yeah, the infrastructure here is the real problem, right? No upgrades. We're working with a non-existing sentry count. If this mine gets another shot, that would be extremely funny. I find this extremely funny. Oh my god, and he gets away. And he got away too. That is unbelievable. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Medevac will end up dying. Yeah, and you can build a lot of Stalkers. Stalkers are good at delaying things, but eventually you'll need to fight. And Stalkers are not great at fighting. They really aren't. And especially if there's something behind the Stalkers, forcing the Stalkers to go away. Kind of go home. That would suck. Double stasis wards could help out. This is 10 Stalkers against 22 Marines for Marauders. Matter of fact, could get sniped here if Reynor's paying attention. Reynor is perhaps paying attention. Ooh, stasis ward gets spotted there, I think. Definitely does. Oop, gets activated as well. 2 Marines will have to pay with their lives for it. But that's a price that our good friend Spirit definitely is going to be happy to pay. Here comes the mine drop. Reynor once again not paying attention as both of these mines are going to drop. 1 Oracle gets taken out and 5 workers go down as well. Here's another stasis ward, picking off a lot of these units. Now with a blink forward perhaps could take out a couple of these extra Marines. Marauder will get taken out as well. We still have these 1 mine in this medevac. Spirit is playing a good game. I realized like this game is still fairly over. Double mine drop here heading in right now. We'll get 2 more worker kills, and I actually think that this mine drop does get stopped properly for the first time. However, this does mean that all of these Stalkers are now back home. There's no more stasis wards on the way. There's a bunch of Zealots which are randomly sent on the map. Is he going to go for a massive run by while trying to hold with stasis battery? I think so, actually. I think that's his plan. Now, I like the plan, but it's definitely not going to work. There's simply too much over here. Zealots instead need to come in right now to the rescue, but I think they're going to hit a little bit too late. Single force field is definitely helping. Here comes a mine drop in towards the natural. Does not manage to get the burrow off. As all of these Zealots are actually dealing a crap ton of damage. 4 SCVs are going to be taken out. Spirit in a bit of trouble perhaps here. I did not quite expect this. There's no upgrades yet here for Reynor, which does suck. Ah, never mind. Holy crap, this is a big Terran army. Couple of mine shots going in a big way. Stalkers dying as well. And this Zealot run by eventually will just get cleaned up. You're not in the main base. 3rd base falls. Probes will die as well. And that means that this game has ended. GG gets skulled as Spirit takes the 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series. And in the potentially final game of this best of 5, we see Reynor swap back into Zerg here on Data C. The moment it gets a little bit dicey, he says, hey, you know what? Zerg is a good race as well. Let me try that one out here. As we have a CC first coming out of Spirit. Of course, given away by the fact that there's no barracks yet. Either it's a CC first or he fell asleep with his nose pressing on the S key. So he's still building SCVs. But he's floating a lot of money. No, it's not the case. Thank the Lord. That would be an awkward phone call to Spirit's house. I wonder if he still has a house phone number, like a home phone number. Back in the day, this was fairly common. I remember a time where there were no mobile phones, or hardly any. It's always called people's home phone numbers. I remembered a lot of home phone numbers as well. You just knew them, because you either had to write them down, or you didn't have them programmed in your phone. I think that is something that kind of did get lost with time, isn't it? It's just the ability to remember someone's phone number. I know it's a useless useless thing to have, but I still remember some phone. I think I remember like 2 or 3 phone numbers of like family members or friends that I would just call fairly often. But now I don't even think I know my own phone number majority of the time. I've had it happen multiple times where there was a period in my life where every single time I would travel, they would lose my luggage. Legitimately. I think it was when I first started pro gaming in 2012. The first 4 trips I went on, I legitimately lost my luggage. Like I didn't lose it. I put it in the plane, and then the luggage company or the airline lost my luggage. And then you have to fill in these forms, right? Requesting your luggage to be sent to you, and you get a little bit of a kit to help you overnight, like an ugly white shirt and toothpaste and a wooden toothbrush for some reason, a tiny, or one of these plastic folding toothbrushes, like you can fold them up so they fit in the tiny kit. Why, whenever you get free toothbrushes though, are they fairly often made of wood? That makes no sense. You'd reckon that they'd make lower quality toothbrushes, and although they're made of wood, they still feel like a low quality toothbrush. I'm not quite sure how they managed to do it. Anyway, fairly often back then I'd have to fill in my phone number, and I always had to, make the kind of embarrassing, you kind of embarrassingly have to say that I did not know my own phone number, and I have to figure it out yourself. And it's actually relatively tricky to get your own phone number. There's a certain code that you can use to get it sent to you, but if you don't actually know your own phone number, it's not that easy to get it. So I always had to Google what the exact code is, like hashtag 703, and then one of these signs, basically. I think something along those lines, or 108. I don't know. I haven't done it in years, and now I actually do know my own phone number, so it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, it's just embarrassing to admit, I think, that you don't know your own phone number, because it means that you haven't been giving it out enough, Because no one wants your phone number. I guess nowadays no one really asks for it anyway. You just either have a business card or you scan like some QR code, I bet. I actually haven't given anyone my number unless it's for like online websites in a long time. You just copy paste it into like Discord calls or something like that if someone needs it in Discord groups. Oh well. Let's take a look at the game actually. This literally discussed nothing for a long time. CC first into 211 triple CC. Cool little build order here. And this is also known as the Spirit build order, I believe. It's one of the first ones to do this off of CC first. And maybe even one of the first ones to do this off just a regular barracks opener. At the 211 triple CC. Very cool build. I personally prefer it if you get 2 Hellions first. So you kind of open up with a single barracks factory, 2 Hellions. It allows you a little bit of map control. But if you play CC first and you can open with 2 Rex, the way that Spirit did here, that feels absolutely fantastic. You're gonna hit like a bag of bricks. Like you hit really, really quick with this. You have fast combat shield as well, which means that this is something you need to know about these 2-on-1 build orders, is that the initial 2 medevacs aren't necessarily the hardest hitting ones. It has been said, legend tells me, that the hardest hitting part of this often is with the 3rd medevac. So you have 24 Marines, there's often no baneling speed yet, and combat shield has finished up. This is really a key moment. I'd be sad if Spirit sends a tank with this push as well, because I don't think it's necessary. I think just pure Marine with a 3rd medevac would be best. Yeah, you're gonna see this exact timing right now. It is extremely powerful, and it actually does hit like a freaking bag of bricks straight on your head. Now, if you've never been hit with a bag of bricks, I can assure you that it hurts a lot. I've never been hit by a bag of bricks, but I once have been hit on my leg by a regular brick, and that already hurt. Just 1 brick. Imagine a bag of bricks on your head or straight into your stomach or something like that. That would hurt big time. Yeah, this is the timing. So he didn't even stim yet, didn't waste anything. Now, there's no centrifugal hooks. This is the exact timing I was talking about. You're running in with combat shield, a fully stimmed army of 24 Marines. This is super scary if you're a Zerg player. Reynor isn't even contesting his own creep spread right now. He's saying, no, you can... these creep tumors, they're yours, buddy. They're yours. He's not mine anymore. Congratulations, you're now the owner of this piece of land. A couple of queens are going to fall. First medevac gets targeted down. Very good movement here with these links coming in from the back. And that is definitely necessary. Now we'll start heading in towards the main base, but a spore is already in position. Reynor with an extremely honestly tight hold. Well, not tight, just a good hold. A very, very good hold. A lot of creep did get cleaned up, but usually if you have 13 queens, that isn't the biggest of your worries, I would say. And I love the way that he defended this. I really love it. Great target fire there on that medevac. Spirit is going to continue taking out some creep. Actually, he's playing a relatively active game here, especially for Spirit standards. The ideal early game for Spirit is when nothing happens until the late game. Kind of the mid and the late merges in one. Oh! Picks up. Good move. Still one active tumor. It's always a little bit painful when one active tumor remains, because you can respread to the regressing creep area immediately. It's actually quite important in this matchup. Ooh, this is a dedicated little push, isn't it? I thought that we were gonna go straight into a macro game, but this is still going to be a macro game. But this is a very, very dedicated push. This is a lot that is being thrown at Reynor here. There's going to be, what, 2 tanks, 1-1 upgrades against 0-0. This is off creep, you can't do that. You absolutely cannot. There's 3, look at his positioning. This is kind of pretty. I really like this positioning on the high ground tank. Wonder what happens if a link flank does end up going there. I guess the tank will die. 5th base is going to get cancelled as this position has now been compromised. Terran forces have arrived. We have a bit of a run by going in towards the 3rd base. Spirit still without a fort, and as I say that he builds it. Where's he? Oh, over here. Tank at home, bunch of marines at home. Armory is kind of delayed. 1-1 finished a while ago. Should start 2-2 ASAP. Starting to add in liberators as well. A lot of these tanks are now on siege. Still have a massive upgrade lead with 2 upgrades versus 0 upgrade. Here it comes. Ooh, run by. Oh, depot race not quick enough. Spirit. No stim here either defensively. That means that these banelings are going to end up connecting with a couple of these SCVs. And we're gonna see 6, well, it's not the end of the world really, 6 SCVs. Spirit's going to be okay with that. Spirit's going to definitely be okay with that. The Liberators now moving over to this position as well. Banelings rolling in. There's no siege. Nothing is sieged. Absolutely nothing is sieged. Look at this. What's he doing? Oh, sieging up. Bunch of Banes here on the bottom side are going to try and roll forward. Double lip sieging up, making it more difficult for queens to really move in and tank a bit of the damage. That's really the only thing it does here. It's not like you're going to be target firing Banes with the Liberators. At least I haven't seen that quite yet. Most of the time you're more busy with running your Marines back, making sure they're properly split. This is a nice setup here. Look at the tank position. That is absolutely beautiful stuff. Queens trying to get off creep means that they can't really transfuse quite as well anymore. Can we get some target fire on these banelings? Perhaps almost all of them get sniped, but 1 or 2 do end up connecting. Spirit actually in a pretty good position right now when it comes to supply. 172 against 154, and after taking the first 2 games here with in TVP, now is having one hell of a showing in this Terran versus Zerg as well. Wants to target down that hatchery, but oh my god, just barely manages to get it. And that means that the situation right now is going to remain 4 base versus 4 base. Spirit already going up to 2-2 as well. Planetary will be forced to live. Mule might get taken out as well. Actually, there's plenty of Marines here, which means that the Planetary can continue building. Sensor tower gets constructed, as well as the Marines on the right side continue taking out more and more creep. And what usually is one of the greatest parts of Reynor's play, the creep spread, is now honestly fairly mediocre, especially on the far right side and the far left side. There's just not that many tumors on this map right now. And that's an interesting thing to see here. Liberator harass going down, 2-2 finishing up here for Spirit. Should start at 3-3 immediately the moment he gets the money. And let's face it, he really does kind of have the money available right now. I'd love to see that 3-3 start, because his upgrade lead is one of the big things he has here. Look at that, Reynor didn't even really find the mental space to start the +2 melee or the +1 range. Whatever it is he wants. There's a lot of minerals in the bank, but gas count is rather low. Means that getting high Hydra counts as well as high Baneling counts is going to be quite tricky. 3-3 starts here practically immediately. Second factory finishes up as well. And we have a 5th command center on the way. Now Reynor did manage to finally get that 5th hatchery back up. This is excuse me? This is 21 queens. Well, is this all 21? No way, right? It's like 30 or so. 15, 16, 50. I think it's 12 in a row and then 3 on the bottom as well. Makes 15. Did he just take out a queen himself? I think he just killed 2 queens himself. So he can get a little bit more supply and other things. It's not a bad move, probably. Queens are relatively useless. They scale poorly into a late game. They really do. 21 more banelings on the way here. We have Cloak. Personal cloaking for them. Ghost coming out. Another command center as well. 5th base should be taken pretty quickly. And the reason I say this is because the 5th base often is the point of contention where Zerg players want to break you. But I don't think this Zerg player can break anything right now. Be struggling to get a dent in a package of butter, as we would say in the Netherlands. I have trouble denting some butter. Yeah, that's the idiom or the proverb. 5th base is going to move over. I think Reynor maybe believes that he can, or maybe believes that he wants to. I don't think he can, though. I don't actually think he can. I think the only thing he can do right now is go into Vipers and start maybe trying to fight with Hydra Link Viper. Continue to expand towards the bottom side bases, that's for sure. You have to at this point, right? There's no way you're taking top left. It's impossible. This base, I don't think you're allowed to mine it out either. So you want maximum saturation on this base for sure. And at the same time, you want to be taking this forward base as well. I think that's absolutely key. Creep spread is looking pretty healthy as we're heading into a campy looking Terran versus Zerg right now. 3-3 finishing up. I almost feel like it's a waste for Spirit to go into a campy game. It felt like he could have done something more with the upgrade lead that he had, with the supply lead that he had at certain points as well. It felt like he was kind of too happy just being like, okay, it's time for a late game. But it felt like there was a potential there to deal some damage, to either get further ahead or to just straight up kill his opponent, who really was struggling in this game. Really was struggling in this game. Look at that. Is that a heart out of creep tumors? It's not the best heart that I've seen in my life. I can kind of see it. It's like the kind of hearts that I draw if I have to draw a heart. I'm a notoriously poor drawer. Bad artistic skills. Back in high school, I had an art teacher who was aware of my particularly poor skill. But I still tried hard, you know. I tried my best to draw. Just didn't like it, and I was very bad at it. It's just not very gifted. And I would practice the techniques that he would recommend, and it would look terrible. And he always told me that he would, he added some marks to my grades, because at least I showed that I wanted to improve. Like, I always tried to implement all the techniques that we were taught. I just did it very poorly and had no creativity on how to implement them. So I just kind of try to copy the example, slightly different, and then do it poorly as well. Not a very good artist. So that's definitely a heart with those creep tumors that I could have drawn. And I would have gotten a 7.5 for it as well. Because at least I put my heart into it. That's what he would have said. Very nice guy. Actually made me hate the handcrafts a little bit less as well. Used to dislike those a lot as a kid, but with him it was quite fun. Making pottery and stuff like that. It was quite fun. Baneling's gonna start rolling in right now. We'll try to hit some of these SCVs, or at least I'm not quite sure what they were trying to hit. Seem to just go for the depots. Nuke is going to barely not... No, it is going to connect actually. Lol. God, I love nukes. They look fairly cool. I'm still not sure if they should be in a game like StarCraft 2, but I don't really care at this point anymore. I think they should stay forever. I think they should land faster and deal more damage. Boom. More nukes. How sick would that be? Nukes were instant. That would be insanely cool, actually. Oh. See Spirit moving forward. Might get broken here. Not enough tanks really reaching back. This position definitely is gonna get broken. At the same time, we have an attack on the right side. Sloppy move out of Spirit, no? Where are his units? I guess he had no units because he had like 98 workers. I always feel like Terrans don't really need to go up to like 95. I think going up to 81, 82 workers, then you get your influx of orbital commands. So the moment you have like, what is this? This is like freaking 8, 9? There's a button for that. There's 10 orbital commands. At this point, you really don't need anything anymore. Like when it comes to SCVs mining minerals. So you can go down to like 50 workers or so at this point and just mule. The only SCVs you need are for gas, and like maybe 15 to 20 for just some general mineral mining. Because then you can get a way bigger army and your trades become better. I think this is something that might be a little bit underrated still. This is a scary engagement here for Reynor. He's gonna go through with it. He's gonna take out a lot of tanks. This wasn't cost efficient though, was it? I don't think it was. I should have checked the units lost before this. I think it would have been slightly better for him. This was a non-cost efficient fight, and the thing with non-cost efficient fights at this point is that they're just not worth it anymore. Because there's so many bases right now that these bases can be replaced immediately. So if you're taking a bad fight, like playing a momentum-based playstyle at this point is practically useless. You're not going to be capable of truly breaking the Terran anymore. That time has passed. It's over. It's actually impossible. I know it, Reynor knows it, Spirit knows it. Everyone watching this game knows it now as well, because I just told them. There'll be a couple of people who already knew it. They'll be bragging about it in the comments. I knew it way before Harstem even mentioned it. Like there's no point, right? Every single time you take out one base and you lose like 35 banelings to take out a 400 mineral structure, that's going to be a bad trade. Because there's just going to be another orbital flying over. There's just going to be another command center that can land and turn into a planetary. Now, this base indeed does end up getting kind of taken out. This is why I said that this is so extremely important. So, despite Spirit losing the fight here near the planetary, him taking out this right side base actually was a fairly big deal. Another cool thing about this is that you can post like a freaking Liberator here and you can shoot. You're basically defended by your own turrets. Bit of a Ling run by, or Ling... what would I call it? Surround there. Planetary is fairly low in the top left and could just end up dying. Links. He kills 2 at a time. 18, 22. Oh my god, that's 4 links at a time. That's pretty sick actually. More banelings rolling in as well right now, trying to connect with the Ghost, and they're actually succeeding for the first time ever. Usually, oh my god. Don't want to go into these tanks, buddy. Oh, let's end up getting into the tanks. Planetary gets taken out. There's already a backup command center here. As at the same time we had a drop heading towards the right side, actually taking out a base there as well. Reynor's going to be struggling getting his money back up. All of these fights, of course, good for Spirit, which is the real issue for Reynor. As long as Spirit is trading well, there's really nothing bad going on. Come on, this is not necessary, is it? Is it really necessary to nuke this? I don't think so, right? You could just send like 15 Marines there and you'd get it as well. Like, it's not a viable base to take in here for Reynor. You're way too close at this point. The one thing on this map that is quite difficult is defending this right side and kind of this left side, because you have this general area that when it's covered by creep makes it easy for Zerg to send out attacks. Yeah. The thing is, Reynor can't really send big attacks in anymore, because a lot of his supply right now still is in workers. Then there's some supply in like corruptors, you have the lurkers to deal with his own right side. Like, these armies aren't actually that scary anymore. Like, it's a lot of links, don't get me wrong. And this planetary is going to be... Why does Spirit continuously leave this planetary on half HP? And then when the Ling run by comes in, it's like, oh crap. No, not the planetary. And he starts repairing it 3 seconds before the Lings arrive. That is some procrastination if I've ever seen some. Yeah, once again, it's going to take out this base for basically free. Even this trade, I'm not so sure if this was good for Reynor. I mean, he ends up losing like 120 links, takes out 5 SCVs, which I don't think Spirit is going to rebuild, and kills like a command center, which was a planetary. I don't know. Down 10k right now. This thing is gone as well. This honestly feels kind of good for Spirit still. Spirit might actually be winning 3-0 in this game. Beating Reynor's Protoss twice. Now going for his Zerg as well. And playing one hell of a game so far on Data C. Here comes the drop in towards the main base. Marauder stimming up. Spawning pool wants to be focused down. But not quite enough damage output for that. Not a super valuable thing. Oh, these Marauder, they definitely could have taken out a base, no? I think Spirit realizes right now as well. Or maybe he doesn't realize and that's the issue. Yeah. Was not paying attention to this army whatsoever. Just kind of moved across the map. Goes on the high ground. Should be capable of helping out here. This is a powerful army, isn't it? Can you nuke from the high ground? Over here? Maybe you can, no? It wouldn't surprise me if you can do that, actually. A couple of Thors moving towards the right. What are these guys doing? Just going back home? Creep is being taken out. Command center flying towards the far... Where actually are you going, you chief? He actually wants to set up over here. There's a base there though, so you can't really go in there. Look at this. Going to get taken out. Neural Parasite finishes up. Burrow's on the way as well. Single 4. Doing some Broodlord harass. The Broodlord's always come in groups, you know? You try to bully one of them and the entire family comes on and blasts you. At the same time though, Spirit will be capable of breaking this right side, which is actually important. Because right now, Spirit is going to be mining more from this base than Reynor did. And if this base also doesn't mine for Reynor, that means that the actual resources gathered on the map are going to be even. With the current resources lost, that is a massive issue. 4 Marauders are being stimmed in, or will send in. Not even sure if they're stimmed right now. Yeah, definitely, right? They attack very fast. Yeah. Stim right out there in the end. Yeah, this hatchery, no cancel on it. Another 300 minerals that you're gonna lose. Also lose a drone with that, of course. Painful. Broodlings try to connect. Look at that! He's doing the move! He's doing the thing! I love this move. Look at it. Just attacking his own creep tumors to send in the broodlings, then attacks his own broodlings to send in even more broodlings. This is really the future. You also attack changelings, obviously. The sickest thing is you can even send in like a changeling over here. And he's not killing a lot, but he's killing stuff. Look, Thor just went down. This is such a brilliant little trick that Zergs have figured out. And when I say Zergs have figured out, originally Dark is the one that figured that out. This is such a cool thing to watch. He's just consistently sending in units. And the funny thing is that the main thing that's doing the damage is the splash of the tanks. So then you want to not get too many tanks anymore. Oh my god, this is a great move here out of Reynor. He's taking one hell of a fight. Ghost might get caught here on the right side. Fungal. There we go. 1, 2 fungals immediately. Lots of ghosts are going to probably die here. Overseers need to be sniped. Will not get the snipes off. Nuke almost lands off. Where did that come from? Holy crap. Which idiot called that nuke down? I'm not so sure. This fight was fairly good here for Reynor. The first win, actually. As I think he gained 3k on his opponent in the resources lost. And it immediately shows in the banks as well. This base gets taken out on top of it, which is obviously fantastic. And we're going to continue in this game. And that was a very necessary fight. Oh, that was a very necessary fight. We have 18 Broodlords out right now. Ooh. Scary fights. Scary fights. 4 more barracks on the way. I guess because Spirit is afraid. Can you just fly his buildings though? Sometimes I feel like TERRANED. Ooh, double Viper kills. That's big. Misses an EMP on the... Maybe he got it actually. The Fetchers do feel like they have pretty low energy right now. These changelings are absolutely key. Look at this. He's gonna continue attacking it. I really like this move. I don't know why, but this move makes me very happy. When Zergs attack changelings. So, for the people that didn't understand what I was talking about when I said he's doing the thing. Basically what happened is that Reynor either attacks one of his own creep tumors or attacks one of his own changelings to spawn a lot of broodlings. Then he sends these broodlings forwards And then he gets another wave of Broodlings out by attacking his own Broodlings. And then another wave. Like he'll just leave one Broodling behind and continuously attack his own Broodlings again and again and again and again. Does Reynor see this? Yeah, okay, he saw the nuke. It's fairly difficult to see all nukes, especially if they're not directed at a base. We have 5 more Broodlords on the way. That brings the total up to 24. That's a ridiculous number. As the game kind of slows down. I kind of want to show the difference here, by the way, when it comes to vision. So take a look at the vision right now that Spirit has. Spirit basically always has vision of his opponent's army because of the constant scanning, right? You're on what? 10? Yeah, 10 orbital commands still. Ooh, one Broodlord's gonna get taken out. Which means you're constantly aware of what's happening. Now, if we take a look at what Reynor sees absolutely nothing. He sees a bunch of circles on the minimap, which are sensor towers. He's harassing with one Broodlord. And he needs to basically be paying attention to his army the entire time. Because if he doesn't pay attention to his army for a millisecond and he loses 5 Broodlords to snipes, that could be terrible. Or the Thor army moves into a good position and starts fighting, could be terrible. So basically you need to be a little bit more active here as a Zerg with looking at your main army. Which is why nukes are so powerful. That's what I was trying to explain here. Nukes are so powerful because they are a distraction away from that. You don't get a warning if the opponent moves out. You don't have scans. You can't see if your opponent's moving in. One thing you can do is try and send in changelings. But the funny thing is in these late game armies there's often no marines anymore. So they stand out like a sore thumb. Ooh, look at that fish. That's one hell of a fast fish. This guy. Quick fishes. I'd like for him to continue using the move. Actually, when he used the move, life was good. Come on, do the thing. Do the trick. Do the trick. I don't understand what the downside of it is, honestly. I'm always fairly confused when Zergs don't use it the entire way through. Ooh, gets double pools here. Ooh. Needs to start kiting back a little bit. Look at these Thors with the damage output on these Broodlords. Beautiful engagement here for our good friend Spirit. Does end up losing a couple of Liberators, but perhaps not the end of the world as triple nukes are getting researched. 5 more Broodlords get started. So he must have lost 6 Broods there in that very tiny engagement. Because he was on 24 before. Now it's going to get back to 23, I think it was. If I saw correctly. Yeah, definitely. Vehicle plating level 3 as well. 7 ghosts in production at once. Holy crap. Now I'm not saying this is a slow game, but the turtle would have finished already. Slow and steady wins the race. But this is too slow and steady. Ooh, a couple more abducts here. Broodlord will be flying back. Broodling's dealing a lot of damage. The Corruptors try to take out some of these... there's no Corruptors, actually, it's Spores. I was like, yeah, what is shooting the area? It's Spores underneath the Broods. Their attack looked a little bit similar. Oop, there we get an Abduct. Beautiful stuff, actually. Very nice. Abducts it in, and then also EMPs as his last dying wish, I guess. Nuke. Should not be capable of landing here. Oh, going to get abducted as well. A couple more Broods actually falling. 17 Broods there for a second. There's 3 more finish, so that... Yeah, 17 Broods. Ooh, there we go. He's doing it. There we go. Now, this is what I like. Now, the main reason why I like it is not against the Ghost, but it's against the Thors. Because the Thor health doesn't regenerate. And also, this doesn't cost energy. So even if you're just blasting the energy of Medivacs, it's still a good move. It has no cost for you whatsoever, and has loads of benefits. I really don't understand why he isn't doing it the entire time, the entire way through. It feels like such a win. Oh, a couple of snipers coming in. 2 lurkers get taken out there. There we go. Oh, Marine gets taken out. A little bit of damage on the Thors. Like, it's not a lot, but you force your opponent into you, basically. You force your opponent to attack you. And that's a big deal as well, in my mind. Now it's gonna get taken out. Nuke is going to connect here with this building. What's the overall units lost so far? Oh, Spirit's actually going for it right now. And he's going for it in a big way. Snipes raining down from the sky. I'm not so sure if this is necessarily a great fight yet. Broodlings are being cleaned up. 20 Broodlords still remain alive. Snipe, 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 snipe. Pop, 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 pop. 3 Broodlords go down there. But the Thors do not quite manage to connect yet. Overall, ooh, blinding cloud. An important blinding cloud there. Because these Thors were finally shooting. That was some very good control out of Reynor. Almost felt like that was a fight that actually was worth it for him, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if that was slightly cost efficient. Ever so slightly. Spirit struggling, keeping his money high. Reynor struggling to keep the gas there. I mean, 1200 gas remaining. How much gas does he actually have remaining? There's about 2,500 here. There's about 700 here. That's 3.2. Added up here. So 4.2. Oh my god. What? He just has 2 completely unmined geysers here. Okay, he's gonna have like 7k more gas or so. 8k. This is a good fight as well here for Reynor with lots of links. I like that he's building links. Because links don't cost any gas whatsoever. And that is the resource that is gonna limit him later on in the game. This is a great fight here for Reynor. Spirit in a world of trouble all of a sudden. It looked so good for Spirit until that attack. Very nice. Viper count is on 2. We have 3 more brutes being morphed in. 3 more corruptors on the way as well. So it's possible that Reynor wants to get even more brood lords. For infestors are burrowed beneath the surface here. What is Spirit doing when it comes to gas mining? Oh, he's broke. Oh, my man is broke over here. Look at that. Oh, he has nothing left. Well, Reynor's gonna be swimming in the gas. But yeah, Spirit can't build anything in it. It's gonna be pure Marines from here on out. Marine Marauder is being constructed right now. I mean, surely that should be pretty much game at that point then. Reynor will be capable of rebuilding this army at least once more with the money and the incoming gas that he has. And Spirit will be capable of building about 25 more Marines. And that's gonna be, oh, okay, more than 25 Marines. It's gonna be able to do like about 40 Marines or so. Something like that. 40. Ah, there's still some more patches here. Oh, there's a couple more patches. Oh, yeah. He can build like 70 more Marines, but he's lacking the gas income, obviously, which is bad. I mean, this is it. That's it for the gas. There are like 700 gas. These are the final Vikings. They don't even have ship weapons upgrades, do they? And there's plus 0 Vikings. 0-3 Vikings. Yeah, just throw them out. We don't need you. What's the plan here for Spirit? That's the question that I have right now. So he has 7 Thors, 10 Ghosts, 41 Marines, 7 Marauders. At this point, I think it would be wise to take out your own SCVs as well. Like, if you're gonna get such a massive army, you'd rather have it be the biggest army possible. But yeah. Another thing that you should do is probably not show that you're getting rid of your SCVs. That way you're not informing your opponent of your decisions. Reynor might not respond to it, but you still give your opponent the opportunity to respond to it. I think getting turrets here is kind of useless. Doesn't do that much. Both moving forward, trying to get in position. As these tanks gonna take a little bit of damage. Almost get taken out. Good pickup there out of Spirit, who is still maxed, but does not really have an army that can contest this Broodlord Baneling Infestor Viper type of army. Main base is going to get taken out, or at least a couple of buildings are going to get taken out. This is scary because it means there's no broodlings on the left side. With no broodlings on the left side, it means that Ghosts, Thors, everything can come close to. Ghost come in, snipe out a single brood, and manage to escape. Nice. Very nice move there out of Spirit. 36 minutes into the game. Resources lost is inching closer and closer to one another. One point in the game, it was, I think, at least 12k or so. We didn't see that because it didn't pull up the units lost. I believe it was like 12, 13k. And now it's what, merely 3? Yeah, 3,000. A little bit less even. Ooh. Drones are being pulled as well. Wants to get rid of some of these bad boys. Could of course increase his army size with that. Don't forget, still only mining with one worker here in this gas for some reason. Could have slightly higher gas income, which would actually be useful. Definitely could use it. Technically still one good fight away for Spirit. A win, that is. But I just don't see how you can get a good fight against an army like this with the army that he has. 42 Marines really dampen the mood there. Forgot to lift this orbital command. He's gonna go for it though, isn't he? EMP, EMP, EMP. Gets an EMP. Infestors adios. Nuke gets thrown down as well. And now things get set in motion. Thors are running in. This Thor's not in the correct mode and is the only Thor that's currently attacking. Fairly unfortunate there. Good start of the fight, despite these 3 Thors getting caught. Spirit is going to keep chasing here. Does not have any Marines left. 7 Ghosts are still remaining though. Good splits as the Banex connect with the Thor. And I think this army is going to continue pushing in right now. Vikings still in the air. If they only had ship weapons here, this could have been so big. This was a pretty good engagement here for Spirit indeed. Up 6k after that engagement. Or 6k extra on top of what he already was. If there were ship weapon upgrades here, I believe that these Vikings would have been capable of doing the job. They still might be capable of doing the job. Spirit up 25 supply right now is going in for the 3. Oh, not enough anti-Ling stuff though. Not enough Hellbats, not enough Marines here. And I think it might be the Lings that clean this up in the end. There's still 5.5k in the bank as well here for Reynor. Does not have the larva remaining though. Is now starting to build more queens. Hydralisks are being constructed. Oi, 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 oi. This is a game. Is it a game still? There's no air units left. It is pure Ling Hydra. These stores could be picked up right now. Yeah, move into a little bit of a corner. This looks really nice. This is still possible here for Spirit. I think so. Holy crap. I thought this was completely over, but that fight was insanely good for him. That fight was ridiculous. Okay, that's 6 lurkers. If Spirit gets the fight before the lurkers morph, maybe it's okay. However, I'm not sure if he wants to fight before the lurkers morph. A couple of ghosts coming in for snipes. 2 Thors are very low as well. I think one of these lurker cocoons has been taken out, so there's only 5 remaining, but yeah, with a single attack, which is not going to be enough. It got really close though. It got proper close there. Good endgame fight. And I really believe if the ship weapons were there on the Vikings in that fight, he would have been capable of doing it. Because those brutes would have died so much faster, would have allowed more ground units to stay alive as well, maybe even would have allowed for these Vikings to land. Might have been capable of just pushing, barely pushing through. Because the real thing, like right now the supply obviously isn't very close anymore, but there wasn't enough larva. There was only 4 larva remaining. And the supplies were 96 against 96. I actually think that the lack of ship weapons is what did him in here in that final fight. Now, of course, he had a couple of bad fights before that. If he hadn't done those, I think Spirit also would have been in a good spot. But yeah, at the end of the day, Reynor, fantastic late game player. Great at managing these fights as well. Managed to just barely managed to do it. Now Spirit's losing everything in his main base. Still coming to terms with the fact that he's absolutely dead in this game. GG gets called as Reynor takes the first game for himself in this best of 5. And after that banger of the last game, I believe it was 40 minutes long, we now find ourselves here on Waterfall. And we see a CC first coming out of Spirit. And for Reynor, a quick pull. Now, theory-wise, I believe that a CC first is superior to the pull first. As long as you don't get roached after. And we are seeing some roaches right now. And they're building a couple of these bad boys. At least seems to be the plan. Curious how Spirit will respond to it. And I have a feeling I already know how he's going to respond to it. Because so far he hasn't scouted yet. He's once again opening up with the 2-Rex build. I have a feeling he's not going to be scouting whatsoever. And if you don't scout something, responding to it is fairly difficult. Yeah, unless you can look into the future, this actually is going to suck. It actually is going to suck here for Spirit. And Ooh. I was gonna say I like this. I think I do like this. Right now, Reynor is hiding the links to not show the fact that he played pool first. This is kind of brilliant. I really like that, actually. I think this really is quite brilliant. Another Zerg might have sent in the links and then, you know, would have perhaps forced out a bunker or something like that. But here, no. Why would Spirit build a bunker? Nothing has happened yet. This is a standard game. Yes, there's no Reaper. There's no scouting. It's gonna be 3 Marines, a reactor, a tech lab, and what? 7 roaches? 6 roaches? It's going to be 6 roaches here, actually. And I don't actually believe there's anything that Spirit can do about that. I mean, your Marines will just get 1 shot. You might damage one of the roaches. And then there's links as well for extra tanking, which means that pooling workers is going to be bad as well. There'll be a single Ravager moving in with this. But even if there was no Ravagers, I don't think it would matter too much. You can't out-repair... Well, you can out-repair 6 roaches, but eventually you're just going to lose too many SCVs. I guess if you're fast with a depot lift, that could be good. There we go. We see a quick depot lift. Marines in the back. Maybe a little bit of a repair here on the depot. No, not gonna happen, I guess. Oh, good control out of Spirit, or almost good control out of Spirit. 2 more Marines do end up popping. Mine is on the way as well. Pretty good initial defense here, but Marines now are starting to fall. 2-3 Marines just getting targeted down there. Marauder does end up popping out. 8 SCVs have already gone down. Mine walks in, is going to get sniped before it gets to burrow. As these SCVs continue dying as well. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 workers going down. Pile barely not going to connect with anything here. Roaches are still alive. 2 Ravagers in the back still at very healthy health. As this roach with 3 HP will turn into a Ravager and be reborn from the cocoon with full HP. And this game is completely over. Look at that. From a 14-minute game into a 4-minute game as GG gets called and Reynor wins game number 4 and ties up the series. Just like that. And after the quick game number 4, we find ourselves in the final map of this best of 5, which has now been reduced to a simple best of 1. The winner of this map takes it all. In this case, the honor, the prestige of taking out the other player. Extractor gets built here. Similar start for Reynor and fairly similar opener as well here for Spirit. This takes some balls, that's for sure. Saying, hey, I know I just lost to a roach all in and I didn't scout. And look what I'm about to do. Ooh, no, switching it up. Okay, so that's different already. Okay. Now, so same build order, but with a slight variation here. Just adding in that SCV scout. Wanting to be sure that he can know what's going on. There's also no second barracks on the way quite yet, which I think is different from what we've seen before. So just this entire opener is just slightly different. SCV is going to... Ooh, she's going to kind of mineral walk through these links. Not so sure if this SCV is going to get the scout that he wants. Did he get it? Just barely missed it. Just barely. That's literally half a pixel. Just one more hex of vision range and he gets there. It's like half a second, not even. Less, 0.1 second, 0.2 second. The links make their way across the map right now. Roach is already in production. This Reaper is going to struggle dealing with this, that's for sure. It's going to take a while to take out all of these links. Things will start running back right away, I can only imagine. Yeah, there we go. Reactor starts immediately as well, which is somewhat risky. Something we see often is people just getting out that quick reactor. But you're just not gonna be capable of producing the Marines before the roaches arrive. So you probably rather are going to have 2 Marines extra already in the bunker at this point. And then the factory unit saving you here. It's going to be a tech lab on that factory, actually. So the Reaper has it. Ooh, I think that just spotted the roaches. I do believe the roaches just got spotted. Command center is going to end up lifting up here. As the first depot is under some heavy fire already. It's a better setup this time around for Spirit, but a bad setup nonetheless. And he just doesn't have any units, which usually is a bad thing. There are 2 Marines, 1 Reaper out currently. Roach is trying to get in. Cyclone, 20, 30, 40, 50-ish% done at this point. The moment that Cyclone pops out, this push is coming to an end. But before that, a lot of workers still could end up dying. I like that rather than pulling the workers to attack this, the workers are being pulled to safety onto the low ground. 12 SCVs have already gone down. Reaper pops out of that out of that bunker right now. And in combination with these Marines, this Cyclone will be capable of cleaning this all up. Good luck on there. 1, 2 more workers might end up falling, but it's not going to be the end of the world right now. Yeah, we're going to see 1 more worker die, that's about it. Cyclone will lock on and the Roach will not get triple shots off on that 1 SCV. And 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, we are in a situation where it's bad for Spirit, but not as bad as last game. Reynor does not have a third base yet. He is getting one right now, same timing as the command center here for Spirit. Spirit will be capable of going into Hellions. We see a starport being constructed on this tech lab as well. So there's definitely possibilities for counter pressure, counter damage, those types of shenanigans. We have a single Roach being constructed right now. Is Reynor actually going to follow this up with another Roach all in? That is a possibility that I hadn't quite considered yet. That I had not considered at all even. I think it is actually. 4 more Roaches on the way. Another Queen. The Queen is a little bit odd, but the Roaches make me believe that this is going to be another Roach attack. Link speed is about to finish up as well as the first Roaches start streaming across the map. There we go. Ravager being morphed in right now defensively. Oh my god, he's gonna go for round 2. Now, Banshee is about 25% done at this point. 10 seconds, 11 seconds out of 43. And it is going to finish in the near future. I don't think the Roaches will be quite here yet. If 2 more cars get built right now, that would be huge as well. Doesn't seem to be the case yet. The next Hellion now in production. Yeah, the Banshee is just going to finish the moment these bad boys arrive. 84 supply against 57, 45 army supply against 22. But this is a push on a timer. Triple CC is done as well. That means triple muling. Each mule is what, 3-ish workers or so. 3.5. Bile's not going to connect with really anything. Now these SCVs are going to take a bit of a beating. Good pull up on top of the ramp. Just hold positioning his unit on top of the ramp. Great move here out of Spirit. Brilliant defense, honestly. Is going to be holding this flawlessly. Taking out a lot of these Ravagers. If the Mule gets to stay alive, that would be huge as well. Would love to see that Mule just being microed back a little bit. No need to expose it that much. Okay, you can lower the depot here and transfer back the SCVs. This was great for Spirit. Still has a lot of counter potential as well because the Hellion stayed alive. The Banshee stayed alive. Cloak has finished up. Second Banshee is about to pop out as well as Stim here finishing up. Triple Spores need to be produced still. Fourth base nowhere close. The one thing that Reynor kind of has going for himself is the creep spread in the middle. Creep spread towards the right side is freaking pathetic right now. And there's no upgrades on the way for either player yet. No E-base either, no extra barracks. Evo chambers are coming down at this point. 49 workers against 53. Here come the Hellions, here come the Banshees, which are already pre-cloaking by the way. And we see the main base, the Queens are awaiting them. Even getting 2 workers here would be nice. Honestly, any worker kills that you can get with the Banshees at this point would be great. Helen's trying to kind of pivot around here, see if they can deal some damage over on the third base. The middle area will need to be re-crapped. I think you can say that right, re-creep it. It's not enough links. That is not enough links. Ooh, accidentally targets the extractor there. Only a single queen here as well. Good control on the links so far. Queens are moving back home. As the Hellions taking a little bit of a beating. Now gets surrounded by the Queens. It's one of the slower surrounds in the game. But it's going to end up working. Evo chamber block as well. Very solid positioning. Very solid drone control here out of Reynor. Who's now constructing 14 additional links to help deal with these Hellions. And also just to go into a more solid mid game. This feels to me like there's going to be a Spire, by the way. Looking at the gas count that we're currently at. Just see Lyle reconstitution. Oh, it's going to be 1-1 Roach. Huh. It's a good map for it. That certainly is true, but there's 2 Banshees still alive. We already have a tank, a second tank on the way. Fort base very late as well for Reynor. This is... not all in, but highly dedicated, surely. 4 queens moving forward. We get a creep threat. Actually, we'll be capable of dealing with the banshees by just shooting darts at them from the creep. Really want to start working on these rocks as well, I guess, at some point. Yeah, makes sense. It really does. 6 queens here. 3 queens still at home, of course. A hatchery each. Carapace about to finish up. Is this enough to defend? That seems to be the case. Link start working on rocks. If I'm Spirit here, right? You're starting to worry a bit. Yeah, he starts producing Marauders as well, which is kind of rare. I do like that. I do like that Marauder production at this point already. +1's about to finish up for the roach. It's going to be 170 supply against 130-ish. That's a lot of Ravagers that are being produced right now. The rocks are being taken out. Oi, 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 oi. Queens continue attacking the rocks right now. How many roaches do we actually have? That's a lot of roaches. What's the tank count? A lot of tanks. That is 4 tanks. If they're not all on the same spot and they can't be hit by the same biles, that would really suck. Banshees in the back, also dealing some damage. Second bunker is on the way right now. Queens will try and deal with these Banshees. Biles are connecting with the tanks already, but Spirit with a pretty decent engagement here initially still has 3 tanks alive. SCVs are being pulled off the line. 144 supply for Reynor, and it's plummeting down right now. Every single Queen is going to get taken out as Spirit takes the lead in this game, and oi, 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 oi. Reynor going for a 1-1 roach all in. Yes, I thought it was a dedicated pressure, but this felt super all in all of a sudden. Does not have a very high drone count. Does not have queens to respread any creep whatsoever. +2 ranges on the way right now. We have 3 more roaches in production, but this is just not going to be it. Double drop heading out. This is a little bit scary. We have 2 dropper lords coming in as well. Perhaps we'll try and deal some damage with 4 roach drops. Burrow on the way, maybe tunneling claws soon as well. This is almost starting to feel like a Bly game. Too many times have I seen Bly behind, starting tunneling claws and Burrow at the same time, just to lose 5 to 6 minutes later. Feels like that's going to be the case here, as well as Reynor is down in supply while massing out the roaches. Double drop heading in towards this base. We'll take out 1-2 workers maybe before it's forced to pick up. Will not lose any of these Marines. Can drop once again on the high ground. Fantastic start here. Double Banshees move towards the bottom side. Spotted these Dropper Lord. Not sure if Spirit saw it or if his Banshees just saw it. Difficult to say at times, of course. Triple drop being rallied up here towards the far right side. Both of these Banshees do end up getting taken out. Triple tanks in the third base. Burrow about to finish up in 10 seconds. Tunneling Claws about to finish up in, what is this, 29? 30-ish seconds, I guess. Interesting. 5 Medavacs will end up dropping 8 Marines each. So that's 14 Marines that are going to end up dropping here in the main base. Don't think there's enough roaches to deal with that, is there? Is this enough roaches? Is this? Oh, that's enough roaches. Surely that's enough roaches. Okay, here we go. Double drops entering the main base. Tunneling Claws finishing in about 4 seconds from now. We see an immediate split of this one roach who's wanting to figure out what's actually going on. Said, hey, what's going on? Good control here. Micro. Oh God, that's a nice micro. This is really nice micro. Holy crap. This is some really good control. It's not going to be enough though. These Tunneling Claws roaches will end up getting cleaned up. We still have a big Marine drop here on the left side. There's a bunch of tanks at home. It feels like this got dealt with relatively well. We need one more scan to truly finish off the job. As more Tunneling Claws roaches are moving in, but 4 tanks in position with the turret means that these roaches need to piss off. Fourth base gets taken out, and I think this is it. This actually is game over right now. Infestation pit will be built. I mean, we're gonna see some wank transition coming out of this, but there is just absolutely no way right now. Fourth base already done for Spirit. Sensor tower, turrets on the way. There's no defense here on this base, which actually is kind of risky. I'm not a huge fan of that. Much would have preferred seeing a couple of tanks here, because now these Ravagers, oh, there's some potential. If he manages to take out this fourth base, that would be huge. Can we lift it? Can we lift it? Yes, we can. It's still going to... Oh my god, it's taking a beating here. The Spirit needs to start going in. He needs to save this command center. That's somewhat important. Does not micro the CC at all. loses the command center for free. What a huge mistake. What a blunder here out of Spirit. After making some big plays. Now, he's still so far ahead. It's painful to watch here if you're a Reynor fan. More drones are being taken out. Right side base gets cancelled as well. Left side base is going to get cancelled. 3 base versus 3 base. Of course, a hugely favorable scenario here for the Terran player, who continues taking out more and more creep as well. The tank count is still looking fabulous at 8. This is 8 tanks, 66 marines against a pure roach army, maxed out army supplies. What is there really here that Reynor can do? I think the answer simply is nothing. There's nothing that Reynor can do here. Another queen gets taken out as well. Spirit just cruising around with these medevacs at this moment. And I'd love... Hello, for the love of God, can we get some tanks on this left side? What is this? Not for a second time we're going to lose this CC. Now, it is going to happen. Reynor staying in the game by taking out this 4th base. This was not allowed at all. This is not what's supposed to happen. Good unit movement, of course, out of Reynor, but very sloppy defenses out of Spirit, who now is trying to send it. This is not the engagement that you want if you're a Terran player, just walking through a massive choke there. I even want to consider taking out these rocks at this point. Once again, 4CC completely vulnerable. See a rotation towards the right side. Reynor already expecting that, or maybe Reynor wanted to rotate himself as well. For a 3rd time, this 4th base gets taken out, no cancel this time around. So that the 2 bases have died, so that's the initial planetary and now this one. No stim being used. The moment 3-3 finishes, by the way, these marines are going to be absolutely on crack. Is this enough? Is this enough marines to deal with the roaches? I don't think so. Turret's going to get taken out as well. Oh no. Is this roach counterattack going to force Spirit into an all-in that he didn't want to be? He did not want to be all-in. He isn't all-in. Well, he is now. He's losing 16, 17 workers. He's down in supply. He still has 8 tanks. 9 tanks. 50 marines. And up in upgrades. Scan, 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 scan. There we go. Very good scan, very important scan as well. Going to end up repairing his own orbital command. This tank is going to get taken out. Turret is still here. More and more workers do end up falling. Army supply is still very close. Seismic spines on the way right now, as there's 3 Vipers with plenty of energy for a couple of blinding clouds. Uh-oh. Is Reynor setting up a flank here? Does he just want to maybe... I think ideally you just abduct 2-3 tanks, no? Surely that's the play. Do you want to parasitic this? I don't think you do. Don't want to waste energy like that. If you get 4 or 5 tanks abducted, is that good enough? 47 workers against 66. Still up in upgrades. Lurkers on the way though. Seismic Spines halfway done as well. If these lurkers finish with Seismic Spine, this game completely changes pace. All of a sudden, Spirit will be forced to quickly fight. Moving forward. Bottom right side base will get taken out. Don't forget, Reynor still has a pathetic worker count as well here on 65. Couple of balls hitting. Double Liberators in production. Still have some roaches going ham here. No scans being used. No scans being used. Parasitic Bomb gets hit on 2 of these medevacs. This is a wild game. Triple drop heads towards the left side. Will get spotted here by this creep tumor. And double spore is actually delaying that a little bit, which is important. Very, very important delaying this type of move in. If you end up losing like 10, 15 workers there, it could be really bad. Liberators move forward. We see a scan coming in as well. Maybe some abducts. No! No abducts yet. Ravagers need to come and deal with these Liberators, or abducts need to happen. Oi, oi, oi. Single roach here in the back dealing some damage. 3 roaches here on the right side dealing some damage. We see a rotation. Essie Vipu at 18 minutes into the game stims forward into this army. But there's lurkers here. Surely that isn't going to be it. At the same time, Liberator moving forward. Medevacs are disappearing. The final medevac dies as... No, manages to barely stay alive. But this tank line is going to get destroyed. Reynor making magic happen here with his army movement. With his constant harassment. This roach, 9 kills on this one roach. The right side roaches have been cleared up finally. Still have some drones burrowed here as well. Marine stimming into this base, but once again Reynor is in position. Muscular Augment is about to finish up. And we're now in a situation where Reynor has basically officially stabilized. The tank count has been greatly diminished, back down to 4. And this Marauder is going to take a bit of a beating. This Lurker could be microed back, I guess, to the kind of the back of the pack. And Reynor feels ballsy enough to start moving out. I think this is possible, but also unnecessary. As is it really necessary at this point to counterattack? Maybe not. Reynor won't go for it. Does probably want to find this little move out, this little drop. Will end up losing one Morphing Lurker. Might lose a second Hydra as well here. Spirit needs to control this well. Does not want to lose any extra. Medivacs is going to end up... No, barely not losing one extra. This army is going to start moving forward here as well. Still 97 army supply against 128. Triple Lips moving in right now. Means that the Lurkers get pushed away. Tanks moving in. Vipers are completely out of energy. And that means that this position might actually be gone right now. If these Lurkers end up dying, the actual ground army for Reynor isn't that brilliant. There's a bunch of links in there which are completely useless. Lurkers still alive for now. Kind of want to force them to piss off, no? You don't want to kill these Lurkers. Oh my god! Hold position, no way. Oh my god, hold position fire there. Marines are going to get taken out. GG gets called immediately as Reynor wins with a reverse sweep with Zerg. Losing the first 2 games as Pro, saying, hey, my toss ain't that great. What about my Zerg though? And Spirit got so close in multiple games. In this game was so far ahead. In that game on Data C was looking fantastic as well. But in the end, the Italian Zerg just a little bit too strong. Takes the series 3-2, and that is going to be it for me. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this series. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see all of you next time for a new video. If you would like to see me do more longer series, be sure to let me know. If you want to see me do more individual games, also be sure to let me know. If there's any suggested games that you want, be sure to put them in the comments as well. I can't do any GSL games because I do not get the replays of those, and you can't recast them from VODs. Alright, that truly will be it. Thank you all for watching, and bye.